Thank you. Thank you, Patriots, and welcome. A month ago, when I volunteered to present this program, I was confident that I could stand up before this body of Patriots and present myself in an intelligent manner. Now I'm not too sure. I'm just the guy who's usually behind the camera that you see in here, and I don't usually speak in public. If I was any good at this, I'd be a politician. But since I'm not, I'll try to do my best. Without a teleprompter, by the way. I figured I should practice this skill in case I decide to announce my candidacy for the presidency in 2012. Now, that's not too funny. When you think about it, I've never changed my name. And I know where I was born. I might live in Schuylkill County now, but I want you to know that I was born in Berks County, in the city of Reading. Berks County born, Berks County bred, and when I'm room temperature, I'll be Berks County dead. Now, I put some thoughts together. I want to try to make some sense out of this. Because when I die, I know I'll go to heaven. Because I've spent my time in hell. How many of you veterans have ever seen that saying anywhere? I know you had to. I've seen it on cigarette lighters, on the backs of jackets, written on the sides of buildings. Usually it's because they're talking about places like Baghdad, Fallujah, Pearl Harbor, Iwo Jima, the Bastogne, Way, any one of hundreds of places in the world where our soldiers, sailors, and Marines have fought and spilled their blood. They paid the ultimate price for their country. Why do they do that? Right here. Duty, honor, and country. That's what any of us can claim. We're gathered here tonight not only to hold the monthly Berks County Patriots Meeting, but to honor our nation's veterans. All Americans, regardless of political persuasion or attitude towards ongoing wars, want to express appreciation to our veterans. Whether they're from World War I or II, or freshly back from Iraq or Afghanistan. But it's not enough just to say, thanks for all your sacrifices, or here's a free meal once a year. No, we must work all year long to see that our veterans are taken care of. We must have full concurrent receipt so that disabled veterans do not lose their compensation. And believe me, that's coming. We must see that returning veterans, especially those wounded in combat, get prompt and effective medical care. Many thousands of Vietnam veterans are suffering from rare and incurable diseases, brought on by exposure to Agent Orange. Yet the VA took decades to accept responsibility for Agent Orange. Now they're doing the same song and dance with our veterans suffering from depleted uranium poisoning. Over 130,000 from the first Gulf War. Tens of thousands more are being exposed today in Iraq. Our veterans do not deserve red tape. They don't deserve foot dragging, and they don't deserve buck passing. They deserve to get prompt, high-quality medical care at no expense to them or their families. We must see that those who gave their lives are acknowledged and honored, not swept under the rug. We must see that those who survive and return home prone to domestic violence, divorce, and suicide get the help and counseling they need to re-enter the civilian world. Personally, I believe the best thing our government can do for our veterans is to quit making more of us. Makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, we live in a dangerous world. Service to our country will always be necessary to preserve our freedoms and our safety. Been going on since the beginning of our country, since our founders brought us to war for our freedoms. When I came back from Vietnam in 1971, I processed out of the Army through the San Diego Naval Air Station. That was a little odd. Because of my military occupation specialty, I flew home with Navy personnel instead of Army, or instead of a mixed flight. I remember being summoned to the office of a high-ranking naval officer for a debriefing. He advised me that before I left for home, it would be a good idea if I found and changed into some civilian clothes. I thought, well, that's a bit odd, rather than come home in my Army greens. He explained to me that there were protesters who were targeting military personnel, and that was the best way to avoid it. Sort of strange. They were in bus stations and airports all over the United States. Thank God that doesn't happen today. People in the peace movement have finally learned to distinguish between the brave young men and women who risk their lives in foreign lands and the chicken hawk politicians who send them there. Yes, today all of us are united, respecting and honoring our veterans. One of the questions that I often hear asked at different places is, well, how do I know that person's a vet? How do I know this person's a vet? How do I know that person's a vet? I searched and I searched for all the definitions I could find. The best one I found, believe it or not, came from a non-vet. Came from a woman by the name of Andrea Brett. Miss Brett is an entertainer. She entertains in one of the most veteran-friendly places in the United States you can ever go, and that's Branson, Missouri. Before each and every show, every night, Miss Brett reads these words that I'd like to read to you right now. And this is called, I Am a Veteran. You may not know me the first time we meet. I'm just another you see on the street. I'm the reason you walk and breathe free. I'm the reason for your liberty. I'm a veteran. I work in the local factory all day. I own a restaurant just down the way. I sell your insurance. I start your IV. I got the best looking grandkids you'll ever see. I'm your grocer, your banker, your child's school teacher. I'm your plumber, your barber, your family's preacher. But there's a part of me you don't know very well. Just listen a moment. I have a story to tell because I'm a veteran. I joined the service while still in my teens. I traded my blue jeans for camouflage greens. I'm the first in my family to do something like this. I followed my father like he followed his. Defying my fears and hiding my doubt, I married my sweetheart before I shipped out. I missed Christmas, then Easter, the birth of my son. Incoming. But I knew I was doing what had to be done. I served on the battlefront. I served on the base. I bound up the wounded and begged for God's grace. I gave orders to follow fire. I followed commands. I marched into conflict in far distant lands. In the jungle, the desert, on mountains and shores, in bunkers and tents on damp earthen floors. While I fought on the ground, in the air, on the sea, my family and friends were home praying for me. For the land of the free and the home of the brave, I faced my demons in foxholes and caves. Then one dreaded day, without drummer or fife, I lost an arm. My buddy lost his life. I came home and moved on, but forever was changed. The perils in war, my memory remain. I don't really say much. I don't feel like I can. But I left home a child and came home a man. There are thousands like me, thousands more who are gone, but their legacy lives on as time marches on. White crosses in rows and names carved in Q remind us of what these brave souls had to do. I'm part of a fellowship, a strong, mighty band of each man and each woman who has served this great land. And when Old Glory waves, I stand proud, I stand tall. I help keep her flying over you overall. I am a veteran. Now, a number of months ago, I received a phone call from one of our patriots. He had attended the rally in Washington, D.C., the Restoring Honor rally. He was so moved by what he heard and by what he saw, he decided to write a song. Now, he didn't just write the song, he decided to write it about our men and women in uniform, about our veterans. Hey Dave, do you think we can record this? Well, it's not so unusual for people to get up in the middle of the night and do things like this. I distinctly remember hearing a story of Speaker of the House Pelosi getting up in the middle of the night and reading the entire health care bill. Now, Butch is an accomplished musician. This is Butch Imhoff. He's an accomplished musician, songwriter, performer. You may know him from the Pepper Festival. You may know him from a number of other venues. He's all over the place. Butch wrote a song, it's called Sons of America. We'd like Butch to get up here and perform it for you.
God bless the sons of America that honor you and me. On battlefields around the world, you fight to keep us free. You represent America and the hope of liberty. God bless you, sons of America. God shed His grace on me. God bless our American daughters. We honor you as well. You put your family plans on hold while you're asked to march through hell. And as an American woman, the world is watching you. You're the hope of other women whose freedom's overdue. God bless our sons and daughters. Thank God that we're still free. You keep America beautiful from sea to shining sea. We cherish independence and strive for unity, the United States of America. God shed His grace on thee. God blessed our founding fathers. There's no monarch or king. They fired the shot heard round the world, now hear that freedom ring. They wrote the Declaration to secure our liberty, to pursue a life of happiness, and that all men shall be free. It began with we the people, and it's clear in God we trust. We're written laws, birth of the republic, where written laws are just. We're the greatest nation in the world, our light still shining through. Give 3 cheers for America, in the red, white, and blue. God bless our sons and daughters, thank God we're still free. You keep America beautiful from sea to shining sea. Give 3 cheers for America in the red, white, and blue.
I figured everybody would enjoy that, which is one of my favorites.
Incidentally, that is also available if anybody wants to listen to it again on the Berks County Patriots YouTube page.
Give me that microphone a second. I forgot something. It is on YouTube. I want to thank Dave Hoffmaster for videoing that song. Come out to my house. And Tom here, Tom Slovey, did one heck of a producing job on the video. You got to check it out. It's on YouTube. Go to my name, Butch M. Hoff, or you can just type in Sons of America and see what he did with that video with the soldiers and the women and the flag. Thank you, Tom.
So now we come to the end of my lines here. Would all the veterans in the room please stand up? And by the way, if you were a donut dolly, if you were a Red Cross bandage cutter and wrapper, you stand up too, because you contributed just as much to this country as any of these veterans did. Fellow veterans, I and everyone else in this room salute you. And no matter where you were, where you served, or what you did, we say thank you. And because it's probably never been said before, welcome home. And Merry Christmas.
Whose brain Abby someone? Abby someone. Abby who? Abby normal.